Now, let's get clinical. What stands out to me are a few things from Stephen's story. First, small businesses and how certain industries are disproportionately affected. And second, fears and anxieties of being exposed to the novel coronavirus. On the first, as we know, all of Stephen's 3 businesses have been materially impacted, 2 of which are client-based and require personal contact, and the other, House of Matcha, which services the restaurant industry. I recently saw some indicators of how the latter, the restaurant industry, is faring, which is worthy mentioning here. An April 21st survey by the New York State Restaurant Association found that 4 out of every 5 restaurant workers in the state had been laid off since the beginning of the pandemic. That's more than 500,000 people. And according to the New York State Labor Department, restaurants account for about 40% of COVID-19 related layoffs, the most of any industry. So why is a psychiatrist talking about labor statistics? Employment is one of the key areas that is a determinant of health and mental health. So what does that mean? There is evidence that unemployment, especially if prolonged, can lead to mental health consequences. And in times of recession, or in this case, massive rates of layoffs due to forced closure of many businesses, given the health risk, I, for one, as a psychiatrist, am extremely concerned about the mental health fallout from this. And from the interview, you heard that Stephen is most concerned about his employees. On the second, fears and anxieties of being exposed to the novel coronavirus, Stephen knew that he had to shut down his client-based business, given the risk and known exposures. And later, he learned that he was exposed on a daily basis for some time. Those fears are real and can be incapacitating. He was in quarantine for 14 days, wondering and worrying. Fortunately, he never developed the disease, but we know that many others have not been as fortunate. Despite the financial impact and uncertainty of when he can return to business as usual, Stephen is staying positive, slowing down from a usually hectic work-life balance, and staying proactive. He has been able to pivot and set up virtual trainings for members to generate some revenue. My heart goes out to all of those who are disproportionately affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Whether through layoffs, unemployment, or financial uncertainty during this time. In times of uncertainty, self-care is of utmost importance to maintain strength and preserve energy for the current conditions. And if you or a loved one has been laid off due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and if the stress of your situation is becoming overwhelming and all-consuming, please seek out help from your doctor or a behavioral health provider. Don't wait. I'm Dr. Allie Sharma. Thanks for listening to Coping with COVID-19.